everybody, and welcome to Robert Sarazin Blake from the Kitchen Table. I am Robert Sarazin Blake. This is the Kitchen Table, and on my right is my associate, David Penderlofgren.
Happy to be here, Robert.
We are here every Sunday bringing you songs, stories, guests, and requests from the most northwest. I better have a sip of water here. The tongue is. From the most northwest corner, the most northwest city, the most northwest state in the lower 48. And so happy to be here this evening. It has warmed up a little bit here in the most northwest corner, the most northwest city, most northwest state in the lower 48. And we have big news for you. We're a few minutes late. Cedric Watson was going to be our guest, but Cedric is in the Virgin Islands celebrating Mardi Gras and the internet connection due to a storm and a whole bunch of people having a really, really good time. The internet is too slow for him to come in, so one of my very favorite songwriters is filling in. That's right. Who's filling in today, David?
Our guest, our surprise last-minute guest, is Andrew Calhoun.
That's right. Andrew Calhoun is coming to the rescue here, so can't wait to hear him in a little bit. And, of course, before we get on with the music, we're just going to take a moment, and we are in quite a moment here in the world, on the world stage. So we're sending our hearts just go to the Ukraine right now. We have one candle tonight we're lighting for the Ukraine and for everybody who is suffering right now in that region. We hope for world peace, not world war. Rainy morning, the clouds are talking to each other, talking about going somewhere else, but they're not. They're just hanging around, just hanging around. My town's like your town's a lot like a lot of other towns. No one's hanging around downtown anymore. Everyone's staying home and maybe just going to the store. Yeah, my town's like your town's a lot like a lot of other towns. No one's downtown hanging around. Everyone's at home and you get feeling a little bit alone. Yeah, my town's like your town's like all the other towns. Everybody's just sitting around. Sometimes we get to feeling down. Turn on the television, the radio, trying to connect and compound. Sometimes just sit there scrolling, searching for some kind of sound, searching for some kind of common sound. Yeah, my town is like your town, it's like all the other towns. No one's hanging around downtown. That's the place we'd go when we needed to be around some people we didn't even have to talk to. Man, we could just be around town. But there is no town when you can't go downtown. Out in the park, out on the street, see a table, grab a seat. My town's like your town. It's a lot like a lot of other towns. No one's hanging around downtown, reminding each other there is in each other. Only images we're getting through the screen, forgetting what it's like to see, to touch, to feel. And my jamboree is like your jamboree. It's a lot like a lot of other jamborees. So strange not to have someone to hug you, hug me. My jamboree is a lot like your jamboree. It's better than no jamboree, so we're all kinda here, you see. Living this life of the tin can jamboree. Empty park, empty street, Empty table, empty seat. And my town is like your town. It's a lot like a lot of other towns. No one's hanging around downtown anymore. Everyone's staying home, and you get to feel a little bit alone. From my town to your town, across the ocean, up and down, Antarctic and Arctic. Depends where you stand and which way is up and which is down. Australia, Vietnam, your town's like my town and all the other towns. No one's hanging downtown, forgetting what it's like to be around. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Used to meet people out on the street, off to the bar, some pal to meet. The ringleader, the squirrely neater, we all need some sort of acceptance to feel like we caught the bus. To feel like we're us. Some people, you know, give exceptional acceptance a wonderful circumstance. If you got the chance. But average acceptance is generally fine. How often can you open up your heart? You're gonna end up crying. Just the acceptance of you there, me here, eating a sandwich, drinking a beer. Handsome man with a mustache, bank teller with a private stash. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. My town is not like your town, it's like all the other towns. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Everybody's staying at home. My town's like your town. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. You get to feel a little bit alone. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Maybe just going to the store. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Your town's like all the other towns. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Get to feeling a little bit alone. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Want to feel how it feels to be around. My town's like your town. Welcome, everybody, to Robert Sarazin Blake from the kitchen table. If you're just tuning in here and you missed the introduction, our friend Cedric Watson is not able to join us tonight due to technical difficulties coming to us as planned all the way from the Virgin Islands. He cannot make it. The kitchen table just has not quite been extended that far. At least tonight, we're still putting the polish on that corner of the table. So our dear friend Andrew Calhoun will be joining us in a little bit. And props to my associate David Pender Lofgren, who is connected to the ones and the zeros, the cables and the screens, to all the different corners of the world. And wherever you are tuning into from your kitchen table, please let us know. We'd love to see where you are listening in from. And it is Mardi Gras right now. And of course, I will say it again, we have lit a candle from the Ukraine. We are keeping the Ukraine in the foremost part of our brains and our thoughts and our hearts right now. And we do have a trivia question to do with Mardi Gras. And the question is, in the song, Go to Mardi Gras, where does Professor Longhair say you can find the Zulu king and queen? So we look for your answer in the comments. Where does Professor Longhair say you can find the Zulu king? This could be informational for anybody who is at Mardi Gras right now and is wondering where they can actually find the Zulu king and queen. It's right there. Professor Longhair will tell you what to do. And we're at the end of February. We already did some Valentines, but I thought I'd do one more February Valentine's number. Send it out to my aunt and uncle who will be celebrating their second anniversary in May. But in the month of March, my dear Uncle Warner Blake will be turning 80 years old. This is the song he asked me to sing at their wedding 2 years ago. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Hold me like an olive branch and be my homeward dove. And dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the wedding and dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly and dance me very long. We're both of us beneath our love and both of us above. So dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the children who are begging to be born. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have outworn. Build a tent of shelter though all the threads are worn. And dance me to the end of love. And dance me to the end of love. In 1989, the Charlie Daniels Band put out a record with this song on it. In 1990, Bob Dylan performed the song in Hamburg. One time he ever performed the song that anyone is aware of via Google. I've played the song many, many, many times at Happy Hour down at Boundary Bay Brewery. Come find me there this summer, 5 o'clock Thursdays. You might even find me playing this song. It's happened, and it'll happen again. Just an old rock and roller playing music in a backstreet bar. He's a little overweight and never really learned how to play the guitar. Never learned nothing but the rhythm and blues. Bebop-a-lula, blue suede shoes. Never faced the facts that he's never gonna be a star. Just an old rock and roller playing music in a backstreet bar. He had a record in the 60s that was big enough to go top 10. Though he tried and tried, it's never gonna happen again. So with your hair dyed, turn it up loud when it's your turn to go. Go down proud, never be nothing except who you are. That's an old rock and roller playing music in the backstreet bar. It occurs to me I just medleyed the second and the third verses, so as a tribute to Charlie and as a tribute to Bob, I'm going to back up and do the complete second verse again. Where were we? You had a record in the 60s, it was big enough to go top 10. Though we tried and tried, it's never gonna happen again. He's been living 20 years on bourbon and pride. Jerry Lee went crazy, Elvis died. His third wife left him, but he never thought that it would last. Now this is just another little blast from the past. But sometimes on a Saturday night, band is having good fun. He steps up to the microphone. Once again he's 21, and it's Bee-Bop-A-Loo, the Heartbreak Hotel. That'll be the day the sweet bird of youth slips away. Just an old bald eagle, never really learned how to fly. But he's going out again, he's sure gonna give it a try. So with your hair dyed, turn it up loud when it's your turn to go. Go down proud, there'll never be nothing except to you all. That's an old rock and roller playing music in a backstreet bar. Just an old rock and roller playing music in a backstreet bar. Just an old rock and roller playing music in a backstreet bar. Oh, and that beautiful sound of rain coming down. It feels so good and romantic to me, but I bet it's driving the man who makes our podcast crazy hearing that kind of noise, which reminds me it is time for the third song check-in. Time to see what's going on with you out there in comment land in Etherville, and I will start off by letting you know we are getting closer and closer every week to having a podcast version of the show available for you. You can listen to the podcast on the website robertsarazinblake.com or from thekitchentable.us. It'll bring you to the same place, and you can listen to old episodes, but it's not yet available in your device, but it's on the way to your device. It will get there. Hold tight, everybody. And that's what I have to say, as well as I have to tell you the answer to the trivia question. Well, we'll see if anybody guessed it first. If you had any questions there. Before we get there, maybe I'll say, hey, everybody, please do put a few dollars in the old digital tip jar. Believe you me, it keeps the ship floating, and the ship needs to float in these winter months when I'm not playing any indoor gigs. This is my gig, and I'm so happy to have you here with me at the kitchen table. I have an answer to the trivia question, but see if, David, if there's anything we should note from comment land.
Well, Robert, it looks like there are plenty of things to know from comment land. First of all, sorry for the delay. There was a little bit of fretting over the show showing up. But I'm glad we got here. Let me see. I don't see that anyone has answered the trivia question.
Well, it's not so hard, and it is a joy to do. Go listen to Dr. Professor Longhair. I love Professor Longhair, one of my all-time favorite musicians. And he will say, if you go to New Orleans, go to St. Claude and Dumer. If you go to St. Claude and Dumer, someone will show you the Zulu King. So that's where you got to go, everybody. I suppose if you're already in New Orleans, you know how to do that. And if you don't, well, maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll be doing the broadcast of the kitchen table from St. Claude and Dumer. Wouldn't that be something? That's something to think about. I like the idea of the kitchen table broadcasting from Mardi Gras. Paul Simon would say, hurry, take me to the Mardi Gras. Different vibe altogether than Professor Longhair. Anything we should be aware of there coming at us from comment land?
Well, it's good to see that Connie Bornham in Wakefield is here all the way from Essexville, Michigan, where she says, glad to see and hear you tonight. Wait all week for Sunday.
Oh, Connie, thank you so much. We hope you're staying warm. We had some coldness. Now it's warmer, and we hope for warmness at some point. But being that you're in Michigan, it's going to be a long winter. So thanks for being a light at our kitchen table.
The ever astute Lofgren clan in Kittery, Maine, has noticed that we are supporting sporting the colors of Ukraine in our wardrobes, and made a mention of that. Looks like Terry and Jennifer here from just down the street in the Seahome neighborhood. The Hoffmans say laissez les bon temps rouler. And
but Terry and Jennifer are going to be taken to the road, so I very much hope they're able to tune in. They're going to go see the world. They're young and their lives are in front of them, so they're going to go have a wild time road tripping like Jack Kerouac. And I hope next week, Terry and Jennifer, you can let us know where you're listening from.
Clay Fry would like to know, when is Mardi Gras?
Well, I'll tell you when it ends, Clay. It ends Tuesday night because Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, and you don't have to be Catholic to know that. But I wonder, this is a good trivia question. Do you need to be Catholic to get the ash on your forehead, or are visitors welcome to take the ash? We'll look forward to Al and Joan in Kittery Point following up on that.
Speaking of Catholics, we do have a drink of the week.
Good work.
The drink of the week, thanks to Kimberly Sabin, our
digital
bartender. We are drinking what we refer to in this band as Sarazin Sazeracs.
And we drink to you. Thank you for joining us from the kitchen table. I think the other bit of news here, I keep on threatening that there's something exciting happening in the production side of my life, and it's almost happening. I'm telling you, it really will happen. That first song I opened up with tonight, I'm in the studio currently recording that song, and I'm going to release it on March 24th. March 24th was the first day of lockdown in Washington State, and we'll be releasing it there to commemorate 2 years of the crazy life we've had and the loneliness we have when we can't see each other. I also will be releasing a live album on the 1st of May, and that is a live album recorded at the 2018 Jamboree with the boys from New York backing me up. And I just released that video last week. I told you about it, and in case you didn't have a chance to go look at it, we're going to roll that video for you now to create a bit of excitement. Looking forward to the release of this live album in about a month and a half. So let it rip, David, if you got it there. 19 shot, let's go back in time. One of the best things about the political situation right now is that we don't hear very much from Sarah Palin. At one point, Sarah Palin made a map of the United States, and she had targets on Democratic representatives, and she said we need to take them out. And 7-8 months later, a young man went into a safe there, but my manager got in the middle of us, but I've talked him down, and I said, yes, it's okay. For the kitchen table, we can give them a sneak peek of the live record. So here it comes. One of the best things about the political situation right now is that we don't hear very much from Sarah Palin. At one point, Sarah Palin made a map of the United States, and she had targets on Democratic representatives, and she said we need to take them out. And 7-8 months later, a young man went into a Safeway where Gabrielle Giffords was talking to her constituents, and he shot a bunch of people. We currently have a president who calls journalists the enemy of the people. We gotta rally. We gotta rally. We are the country of Martin Luther King. We've got to rally, become something we can become something we're proud of again. 19 shot, Giffords in the hospital, 6 people dead, 1 9-year-old girl, killer filled with hate, filled with venom, a semi-auto automatic weapon. It got the gun that day, also the ammunition. 19 people shot and bleeding. Isolated incident? I don't think so. Clear to me, the attack was political. A radio says you gotta take 'em out. Somebody did it and left little dog. If you make a map with a target on someone's head, and a bullet is shot into that head, and you refuse to take any blame. You're heartless, you're blind, you're insane. Special forces, special mission, extraordinary rendition. Take them from their homes and you put them in a plane. Get out the dogs. Hey, hey, hey. President says you gotta take them out. Soldier did it and left little doubt. If you make a map with a target on someone's head, if the torture goes too far and someone winds up dead, and you refuse to take any blame, you're heartless, you're blind, you're insane. Trump calls journalists the enemy of the people. 6 people dead in Annapolis Marathon. Trump calls journalists the enemies of the people. 6 people dead in Annapolis, Maryland. Trump calls journalists enemy of the people. 6 people dead in Annapolis, Maryland. If you make a map with a target on someone's head, and a bullet is shot into that head, you refuse to take any blame. You're heartless, you're blind, you're insane. Woo! Thanks everybody for going down that memory lane with me there. And I'm so excited that I've been sitting on that track, and I've been meaning to release it before now, but one thing after the other has gone in the way, so I think I'll release it 1st of May, and just to wet the palate, to wet the whistle, to wet the palate, do you wet a palate? To please the palate, to potpourri the senses, there's a phrase I'm looking for, someone out there can help me with, to create a little intrigue and excitement for summertime and for the Jamboree to come. So excited to share that with you, along with this new single I'm working on. And That's it. We're going to go back in time a little bit here, song-wise, because what a week it has been, and want to send it out to our brother Cedric Watson, who tried so hard. We could see him on the other end, but the internet speed was just not there. He was all tuned up, and he was looking beautiful. He had a Mardi Gras outfit going on, but the internet speed got in the way of having a good time with Cedric tonight. So this song is called "A Little Disappointment." So that's a little disappointment. There's bigger disappointments going on out there that we have to deal with as well. But this one is about the little disappointments. The little disappointments we swallow, most often we choose to ignore. Obligations we employ them to keep us moving. The little disappointments we swallow, they get bigger put together. No children, no books, never left, never stayed. Our lives in our minds, they look so good one time. But our lives that would lead, they look nothing like it. The little disappointments we swallow. Better not to aim and dream, and all that remains is an embarrassed old scheme. From the Cape of Good Hope to a meadow in Mallow, we walk every day in the enveloping shadow of the little disappointments we swallow. Most often it flows, the days come and go, like plans and execute. We look forward and smile, jog and walk miles, keep our eyes on the road, wake up and beat the crows, keep our chins up high, keep the cups washed and dry. But the weight lurks in corners and occasionally finds us. The weight, 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 the weight of the little disappointments we swallow. We swallow, they get bigger put together. God, the little disappointments we swallow, they get bitter in our belly. Give us aches and pains, they get mixed up with our memories. They make us want to stop eating, or at least stop believing that the little disappointments we swallow are something our bodies can handle. The little disappointments we swallow, they gather like the birds running south. They gang up and fall on us, they suck the air from our dry mouths. Our feet feel the weight of our bodies, our clothes feel the weight of the air. Little stories we've been avoiding, pretending are not there. The little disappointments we swallow, little lies we keep to ourselves. Bodies lay unsatisfied, television on the book, the shelf, the water and the air. On climb mountains still there, pile of crooked formation, woman and man, earth and nation, lost limbs, reputations, unknown constellations, all of Israel's invasions, all of Israel's invasions, all of Israel's invasions, the little disappointments we swallow. Have a long love and all the paths you do not follow. You've got to learn how to love all of the little disappointments we swallow. And we're sending this one out to Cedric because he just got married. Congratulations to Cedric. would say the name of his wife, but I don't know the name of his wife. He just sent me a photo of them, two of them looking gorgeous on their wedding day, and that's, I believe she is from Guadalupe, but I don't know how to say it in French.
Guadalupe.
And they're down there celebrating their new life together. So sending love to them. And it's Mardi Gras, which puts me in the mood to do one more song and have that one song be a Chuck Berry song. And then we'll have the great Andrew Calhoun coming at us live from Illinois. Wedding and the old folks wished them well. It was to the Pierre, to the love of Mademoiselle. Said the young Pierre to the Creole belle. Say la vie, said the old folks, goes to show you never can tell. They had a dog. They furnished their apartment with a 2-room rowboat sail. Coolerator was packed with TV dinners and ginger ale. But when Pierre found work, the little money come and worked out well. C'est la vie, says the old folks, goes to show you never can tell. Phono aboard, they let it blast. 700 little records, rock and rhythm and jazz. But when the sun went down, the rapid tempo of the music fell. C'est la vie, says the old folks, goes to show you never can tell. Chair at 53. Got him down to New Orleans for the anniversary. It was there that Pierre married the Mademoiselle. C'est la vie, says the old folks, go to show you never can tell. All right, David. Time here over at the kitchen table. Thank you everybody for being with us, and it's absolutely my pleasure. He called in or commented in last week, and I thought, why have I not had Andrew Calhoun on the show? And bam, an opportunity not only came our way but shouted out at me, and I gave a shout out to Andrew. I said, Andrew, we are in an emergency. So about 45 minutes ago, that was that telephone call to Andrew, and he answered the call. So please, everybody, give a warm kitchen table welcome to a dear friend of mine. Haven't seen him in a long time. That's Andrew Calhoun, all the way, I believe, from the land of Lincoln. Is Illinois the land of Lincoln? The land of Lincoln.
Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield is a long ways away from Glen Ellen.
It's about 3.5 hours.
Oh, so I guess it's not that long, really. You know.
My pal Ben Bedford lives down there.
Okay. Welcome to the kitchen table, Andrew. How are you feeling?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a surprise to get this call. I just got done taping a couple of YouTube videos. I'm trying to post the complete songs of Robert Burns to YouTube. So
Yeah. And
it's
how
something
many?
to do.
We're in the hundreds. You're in the hundreds, if I'm correct.
Uh, in my big book, there's 410 songs, but some of those were just collected by Burns.
Okay.
I think I'm aiming for around 200 for the
200
songs.
that you will transpose from Scottish to English. If I'm being
No,
no.
I'm not. My original idea was to do 70 songs with like English translations.
Yeah. What happened?
And,
to that?
and as I got into the project, I realized that his songs had never been published correctly with their original melodies. Kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
So out of 410 songs in the big book, like 335 have newly sourced melodies. His original publishers were pretty close to musical hacks, and so a large part of the Scottish folk tradition has been filtered through the mind of Stephen Clark, a mediocre church organist from Durham, England.
Wow.
And no one has called this out. So I wasn't going to talk about this right away, but here I am. It's just crazy. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Like what Burns songs do you know?
Well, we all know Old Lang Syne.
Okay, that's not really the tune.
Yeah.
And even the one they say is the original tune is really not the tune either,
Yeah.
which I could get into. But
Yeah, but well, I know you can. We've had moments of that in the past at the Jamboree. People were dancing and singing and shouting, and there you and I were in my trailer sipping scotch, and you were reciting Burns to me with the accurate melody. And I thought, this is an experience that I'm very excited to have, but it was kind of hard for me to...
it's like, do you ever have a dream where there's an extra room in your house and it's like magical and there's all this stuff in it you didn't know was there?
No, but I hope to tonight.
I've had those dreams through my life, and this was like that,
Wow.
including familiar, famous songs, and suddenly, like A Man's a Man for All That. It's a very famous song. There's a better text, humbler, more radical, better written, that has not appeared in a songbook since 18... I'll do it later, maybe.
Okay.
But,
Tease us.
yeah.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you on the show, and I always learn so much. And so you have found, I mean, just to follow that thought, you have found the original melodies, and you're putting them to the text, and somewhere between 1 and 400 songs you're doing this with.
Well, there's 400 in what'll be the big ebook, and I'll do a smaller selection of songs people would actually sing now.
Okay.
Burns wrote, Robert Burns we're talking about, and he lived in the late 18th century in Scotland. This is not by Burns. I'll do a song by an Irish poet named Joseph Campbell. Do you know him?
I don't.
Northern Ireland, not the Follow Your Bliss guy.
Okay.
He wrote a couple songs that Celtic bands still sing. One is My Lagan Love, and the other is Garten Mother's Lullaby. But he wrote a very good poet. And so this is a poem. Hey?
I was just introducing you, even though we're already here. I said, Andrew Calhoun at the kitchen table.
From the kitchen table. I'm actually at the folding, what do they call it, a TV table. So this is called I Will Go With My Father Plowing. So it was a poem, and I put a tune to it. I will go with my father a-plowing to the green field by the sea, and the rooks and the crows and the seagulls will come flocking after me. I will sing to the patient horses with the lark and the white of the air, and my father will sing the plough song that blesses the cleaving share. I will go with my father sowing to the red field by the sea, and the rooks and the gulls and the starlings will come flocking after me. I will sing to the striding sowers with the finch on the greening slow, and my father will sing the seed song that only the wise men know. I will go with my father reaping to the brown field by the sea, and the geese and the crows and the children will come flocking after me. I will sing to the tan-faced reapers with the wren and the heat of the sun, and my father will sing the scythe song that joys for the harvest done. And my father will sing the scythe song that joys for the harvest done. Sweet tune.
Beautiful, Andrew. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's just a lovely, it just cried out for a tune, you know.
Yeah.
I sort of would generally rather say a poem than set it to music, but that poem was like, I want to be sung.
Yeah.
Right. There's a bit of a self-portrait here called Slippery Fish. Slippery fish headed for the sea. I might look pretty, but you can't catch me. I don't want to fry high on that beach. I swim for something that I never reach. I swim for something that I never reach. My heart goes out to weed and rock, weaving in and out of shot, rigging through the water, sniffing in the in my element, far from home. In my element, far from home. Swimming through the darkness, I can't rest. Searching for the key to the treasure chest. Joy of my life, quest and service. Tell my wife up on the surface, I'll be back by 5:30. Home for supper, dead or alive. Home for supper, dead or alive. Now don't tell me you think I'm sweet because we share something to eat. Greedy, moody, call my bluff. Nothing but the gold is good enough. Nothing but the gold is good enough. Don't you know me dressed so fine? Do you like me pickled in brine, riddled with age marks, stubborn and mean? In deep and sight unseen, in deep and sight unseen. Swimming through the darkness, I can't rest. The treasure chest. Joy of my life, quest and service. Tell my wife up on the surface, I'll be back by 5:30. Home for supper, dead or alive. Home for supper, dead or alive. I'm a slippery fish.
Yes. It sounds like there's new songs coming from Mr. Calhoun.
Well, you know, they're old songs, but took me so many years to learn how to play them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
My word brain was way ahead of my musical brain when I was younger. So
They sit around and wait for us, and sometimes we get back to them, and that's a cool thing.
yeah, well, it's cool that some of them are still worth singing, but it's cool to have a relationship with your younger self. Like, yeah, I wrote this, but now I can, work on it. Now that I know more,
Yeah, yeah.
It's sometimes something really simple,
Yeah, and sometimes we save ourselves from something we almost said, but then maybe that's why they never made it out of the notebook in the previous version of ourselves, because we're like, I'm not sure I need to say that out loud in front of people.
Yeah, but you need to not be afraid to write that down. In your notebook.
Definitely.
Because you got to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I used to have I'd start writing something and it's like, that's the bullshit. Like, next level. Like, no, that's bullshit. And then here's the song, coming in on the third wavelength.
Andrew, we're going to have you do 2 in a row here because we got yet another layer of technical difficulties that we're going to solve, and I don't think it's going to affect you or the viewers at all. So, all to say...
You say that now.
And I think I'm even going to be able to watch you while David... I don't know what David's going to do. If he explained it to me, that would take too long. So, Andrew Calhoun, everybody, coming at us all the way from the land of Lincoln.
Land of Lincoln. This is an old song of mine that I've been working on the music for a long time. It's called Never Enough. And it's a song from my manic category. It's a category of songs that either people love or they don't like them. So I hope you like it because it's like 5.5 minutes long. But anyway. Whatever I have, it is never enough. Glide on smooth water and make it rough. Own my own home, think it's strange. Sit in my kitchen, wait for life to change. Out in my garden grow peaches and berries. Up in the chimney live goblins and fairies. Out by the rock, by the water running, out by the rock, by the lizard sunning, I wanna be free. Not another dull tragedy, come with me. I've seen the fields, come with me. I have seen the fields. We walked 2 by 2 by 8, by the sun driving down, and the candy we ate made us ugly and mad, left us walking alone in the dead zone, in the dead zone. Life came to visit, he was big in size. He sat and he broke my chair and told me lies about the income tax. And his other facts, his code was a manyfold, his manner bleak and gay. He stuttered easily and he rose and died away. Death came to visit, it was small in size. It spoke no truth and it told no lies. And it spoke no words but 2 blackbirds flew out of its cape and trying to escape. They banged the window pane, bang the window pane, bang the window pane. Blackbirds, blackbirds, bang the window pane, bang the window pane, bang the window pane. I am in the race, you are in the race. We are God's own, we are no disgrace. Cast your vote upon the waters, cast your vote upon the rage. Send your note up to the stage. This is your place, this is my place. Kept that gong out of my face, kept that gong out of my face. Gone, 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 going, gone, 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 gone. In these shoes are sober now. We know many things. They have made us weak. We have many friends with whom we do not speak. Many sorrows which we cannot cry. If we're still in darkness, we can't see why. God is after you, Henry. Here he's mad. Heard him on the back porch talking to your dad. He said he's tired of you running around his yard, playing hide and seek. You better stay on guard. God's wearing an old blue hat and some baggy pants. He's taking out the neighborhood. You haven't got a chance. Here he comes, Henry, the great forgiver, to unwind your bowels and pluck out your liver. I will make a shield, Henry, with my little sister. We go up to God and we say, hey, mister, hey, mister, hey, mister, where's the barber shop? Where's the barber shop? We need a little off the top. Can you direct us to the barber shop? And if you get safe, Henry, you escape hell's door. We still don't like you. Don't come around no more. There's not much I want, just to make amends with a former lover and a couple of friends by a happy fire on a little hill. I'd like to read my will, tell a little story, pass through glory with a hand in a hand, a hand in a hand, a hand in a hand in a hand. But I fear for my children, seeing them damned. I wait for the gang to come to the door, or the police to come with guns on the hips, lies to sign slavery. There will be no one, only many, on a rack that goes around and breaks our backs against the ground. And again the sound, unknown to the guard who stands outside, so pale and grim and strong and stupid. Send me back to Ethiopia, send me back to Madrid. I wanna see my sister, hey mister, wanna see my sister again. Give me shoo-ba-ba-doo, give me shoo-ba-ba-dee. Get my home run city out of slavery. We were drunk in love, we were tipped to bow, we were high and full, but we are sober now, we are sober now. Whatever I have, it is never enough. Glide on smooth water and make it rough. Own my own home and think it's strange. Sit in my kitchen, wait for life to change. Never enough. This one is a mite more peaceful. It's my family has a cottage on Matinicus Island, Maine. That my grandfather bought in 1935. And it's Matinicus Island is the most remote inhabited island off Maine. It's 23 miles out. You have to make an effort to get there. A lot of lobstermen lived there. Now they live on the mainland and keep a house there. There's more artists there now than there used to be. This is my evocation of the place. And I'll say a little poem first by Edna Millay, which is about another island in Maine, which I believe she bought with her husband, Eugene Boussevin. She went there to recover from morphine addiction, and she would go out in the freezing cold water, for like 3 hours at a time and make her body really cold. So her poem is called Ragged Island, and my song after is called Moon and Sea. Moon in full circle, gleaming on high, pulls on the memory of tides that sigh. The name of the moon, the name of the deep, the name of the woman who watches you sleep. The shadow in triumph, silent and huge, extends now forever your tiny refuge. One room in a million, one moon in the sky, shines on your breathing and the tides that sigh. They pound on the shoreline, then run like the wind. They batter the rocks like fools rushing in. They come like the lion, go like the lamb, to lie with the woman who knows who I am. She's like you, I think, that glittering sea that shines in the morning when it wakens to me. From a night full of shifting, she sighs and she shines, a path to the gold that no one can find. A pathway of gold, a path to the pearl, a scarf for the lover who knitted the world. From the height of the moon to the depth of the deep, to the breath of the woman who watches you sleep. Moon in full circle, gleaming on high.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Andrew. Wow. Wow. What a great poem. What a great song.
Thank you.
23 miles off the coast of Maine.
Yeah.
And is there a ferry service that'll take you there?
Yeah, there's also little planes. You know, you can get a plane out in 10 minutes. But there's a ferry, and there's also a boat you can hire. So if you have 4 or 5 people, it's it's not too bad.
And have you spent some time there writing and being Andrew Calhoun out on this island in a sort of solitude zone?
You know, the last song I wrote, and it's been a while. I wrote out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have written my first song I ever wrote out there.
Wow.
At age 12.
Wow.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, either it was new and I was just learning it, or I think I might have written it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strong in my memory, that place. I mean, I'll be back there, but
Yeah.
it's in an older rhythm, than the rest of the continent.
Yeah. Well, you just took
Yeah.
us there. You just took us there, and I appreciated the journey.
Thank you.
One good Andrew Calhoun song deserves another. I'm going to do this one that has become part of my happy hour repertoire. And
Oh my.
I'm not. I think at one point I asked Andrew, or told you that I was changing a few things, and I hope I hope it's all right. I think it's
all
okay.
right.
I didn't do anything weird or anything.
I've never been unhappy when people change things.
Next week we have Matt Faulkner on the show, and there's a song of his which I've also changed a little bit. Hey, what are you gonna do? You're playing the song and things come to you,
Yeah.
And then you forget as well. I'm not sure if that ever happens to you. I forget what I learned, and I make up, and then I never retreat, and it's forward motion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Got a homemade meal in the freezer, stuffed way down in the back. A nice cold beer for a teaser, couple with your name in the rack. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Hearts dance like flies in the darkness, finding their way to the light. I know you're out there somewhere, keeping me awake at night. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Mary made up the bed in the back room with a quilt she got from her mom. I'll meet you at the station. You can walk home on my arm. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Hearts dance like flies in the darkness, finding their way to the light. If you don't begrudge the welcome, I won't begrudge the flight. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Oh, make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all your troubles and snarling. Come on back to us. Is it really snarling?
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I muted you, Andrew. Hold on. Here we go.
Is it really snarling?
It's leave all that struggle and snarling.
Okay. It is snarling, just the small
Yeah.
words. Yeah.
I wrote a bridge for it.
Well, you didn't record a bridge for it.
I know I didn't. This is the thing. I'm slow, you know.
It could use a bridge, come to think of it.
Yeah, I'll just play you the bridge.
Yeah.
It's almost in the right tuning. In fact, I could put it in the right tuning. Let's see. Getaway. It's neat to hear that. That's the folk. It's a song becoming a folk song. It's really nice.
Well,
So it's a listen for. So it's make a getaway back to us. Listen for the. Shoot. Back to us. Listen for the whisper of a promise holding strong. See you through the shadow to keep you all night long. We show the scars of loving, how far it all goes wrong. Say it's worth the losing for a chance to sing the song. Make your getaway, darling. Ride the midnight bus. Leave all that struggle and snarling. Come on back to us. Like that.
beautiful. I'm going to have to learn that. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, I needed
perfect.
the bridge, and
Yeah.
again, it was like 15, 20 years after I wrote the song, I finally got it to my satisfaction.
Life is a circle, not a line. It's hard for us to really appreciate that, but that's a great example.
Well, I think, I my best songs came in on the same wavelength since I was 15. What I've gotten better at is editing,
Yeah.
And when I say editing, I don't mean that dispassionate analysis process. I mean actually reimagining yourself into the world of the song and letting something else happen. you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Everyone's different, you know. Lewis was making a joke the other day that he and Aeneas tried to co-write, and Aeneas doesn't move on to the third line until the second line's perfect. I mean,
yeah,
my head exploded when I heard that. I mean, her concept that like the amount of information she can hold up here, you know, while she's
yeah.
working is pretty good because if I try to do that, everything else is kind of fades away. I have to be ensconced in the zone.
I've had that thing where I'm stuck, and it's like, let me just go on so I don't lose
Yeah.
the pulse, you know, and then you can go back later. But yeah, yeah, I remember I had that same conversation with Lewis about that. Yeah, like, yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't because you can't stop. It's like you're skiing downhill. You can't
Takes me a
stop.
while to get going, you know, and once
Yeah,
I'm there, I want to stay
yeah,
downhill, you know.
yeah. Just a lot of my best writing is just riffing off what I'm hearing. I'm feeling the sound of the next line more than the meaning of it or anything. It's
Yeah,
like I know what it's supposed to sound like, and you
yeah.
just start letting it roll, you know.
There's a lot of different ways to do it. We're certainly people, we are not making an argument that Aeneas Mitchell writes songs incorrectly. I just want to make sure that we're being very clear about that. Well,
Just got a new recording.
it's beautiful, isn't it?
That song Watershed is just like
Yeah.
there's Hades Town and there's Watershed, and I don't know which one you'd be prouder of. It's just incredible piece. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I got some CDs sitting in there. Came in. People still making CDs. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make one more, see what happens. I got a little room in the
Allison,
basement.
do you have Allison Russell's CD?
No.
You have to get it. In fact, I
And you
might
got to
send
listen
to
to
you.
it on CD, right? I mean, it's a way different quality. I mean,
This is it's one piece. It blew my
cool,
mind. I
cool.
mean, it's called Outside Child,
Okay,
and boy, it's strong.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, give us a blast of whatever's coming to you. It's such a pleasure to hear you sing. It's been too long.
I don't know what's coming to me. What do you want to hear?
Well, you know me, I like the hits.
Oh, what are those? I just make these lists for gigs, you know, and they're always these like intense, gripping, sad pieces.
Yeah.
And then I get up in front of people and it's like, oh, I can only do like 2 of those songs.
Yeah, right. You get an idea for the moment, and it doesn't actually call for quite a depth.
I'll play you the one I mentioned. That's the last thing I wrote. Although I did write something silly recently, but I didn't bother learning it. It was nice to use the muscle. I'm a caregiver now for my old man who became, he was becoming incompetent right when the pandemic was hitting. This was pretty wild because I couldn't go anywhere, and now I have a job to do, taking care of him, and certainly didn't want to bring a virus home, you know. So that's all been interesting. But I think to get back into writing, I'd have to go somewhere and blow up my TV and my social media accounts and see what's swimming around down there. But last time I was out on Matinicus Island, I saw a book that I knew I'd need a space like that. I'd need a couple of weeks to read it because it's a tough book. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee by D. Brown, which is the story of what we did to the tribes. And I knew a lot of it, or I knew what a lot of it would be. What I didn't know is that, the white people that tried to be decent and fair were systematically turfed out of their jobs back in Washington and had their careers wrecked. So this is called Renaissance Land. It's kind of about being put in a situation where integrity is not even a possibility. Out here in Renaissance Land, a tardy reconnaissance man brought blueprints to the plan, packed up in a prospecting pen. Oh, and what's for breakfast? Oh, and what's for lunch? Can you guess the next question? Oh, mercy, Captain Crunch, I had a ditch to wallow, I had a storm to fend, I had a prince to follow, and yet a fence to mend. Out here in Renaissance land, there's nothing left to borrow. Out where the heart's been had, where now there's only sorrow, no reason to be sad. You lost in hesitation to look before you leap. The dream was dead already before you fell asleep. It's only for the pleasure, a strip show for the blind. We wander from the treasure we ever seek to find out here in Renaissance land. And oh, my father's sins, oh, my mother's merit, praise a humble thing that nothing will inherit. The name of glory hostage, the shuffle in the tongue, the shifting of the language, the hanging days begun. We want what you got, the beauty and the sum, a blessing from your bloody throat. Your promise peace will come out here in Renaissance land, out here in Renaissance land.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Thanks.
And that's in sometime in the last 5 years that one's come to you?
That was summer of 2016,
Okay.
before 45's election.
Yeah.
I went into a severe depression after that.
I'm not surprised to hear that, but I'm
And
glad
the
you made it
sense that
out.
the sense that my life was a failure, you know. But we all have to work out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see you on the other side, my friend.
Well, I always been at the music, you know.
Yeah.
Saved my life many times.
Nothing that learning 400 Robert Burns poems and putting them to the correct melody can't solve.
Yeah.
I'm going to do one more, then hopefully you'll do one more, and then it will be time to stump the band. And we have a
Okay.
great caller coming in from somewhere in the American Southwest, which is really going to make a beautiful triangle between the northwest corner, the most northwest city, the most northwest state in the lower 48, the land of Lincoln, and the Southwest. And of course, the Ukraine is never far from anyone's minds right now. And what you do, apparently, I didn't know this because I've never been in a city that's been invaded. When your city's invaded, what you do is you blow up your own bridges.
Yeah.
And it's just so powerful. It's such
Yeah.
a powerful image to me of self-sacrifice and survival.
That's how the Russians beat Napoleon, you know.
Supply lines.
Yeah, they just deserted, you know. That's an amazing story.
They burned Moscow. We're talking 1812 here when they burned
Well, they
Moscow.
just left. They just
Yeah.
left, and they let them occupy, and they sat around partying, and like fires would start, and there's no fire department. They're finally like, it's the middle of winter. What are we gonna do? We're out of food. Let's
Yeah.
go home. And they're heading home in the winter, and the Russian army, you know, comes out of the weeds and just destroys them. It's an amazing story.
Wow.
But boy, Ukraine and that Zelensky is that's something to watch. It's just
It's
blowing
hard
me
to
away.
take our eyes away from it, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there are a lot of people are losing their lives, and a lot of people are losing family members. And
It's awful. War is just awful.
This song goes out to the bridge builders. awed by bridges that fill me with wonder, that fill me with awe. I can't escape the grandeur. Hands poured the pilings, poured concrete, filled the forms, filled out the vision of the eyes at the desk, pencil in hand, cup of coffee, paper and calculation, artist with the design, engineer with the plans, architects with equations, men and women of desire, politicians pass legislation, funding bills for ways and means, tax collector collected, clerk carried the one, put it in the right pile, we paid the bill in April, put it off, the addition, didn't have the money, maybe next year, so we could all get somewhere else, other end of the valley, across the Russian River, like Pontchartrain, fjords and fields, redwood trees, piers out in the ocean, ships across seas, and if it's rain, we might not notice. If the radio's strong, we might not see. Just take it for granted, all that's been expanded, all the hands it took to get to the other side. I'm awed by bridges.
Beautiful.
Thank you. We'll get another song from Andrew Calhoun, and then it will be time to stump the band. And I think we have a caller coming in from the great American Southwest.
Down the green hill to the cold stream, many men still tumble yet, falling from the yellow sunbeam, all too eager to forget. Morning's gone, the desk is cluttered, sunlight screaming off the snow, the door's shut, the window shuttered. Listen to the silence crow. Holding tight, hidden from the dreary echo, hidden from the whooping cough, babies cower in the cradle, from something that can't be far off. holding tight to mother's finger, yellow lollipops galore, half in goodness, half in wonder. Will you walk me to the war? Roaming past the Roman ruins, pits upon a foaming face, terror came to tame the shoppers, targets in the marketplace. No one made a wrong decision, no one left a thing behind, a broken chance, a twilight vision, ripped across an empty mind. I walked out to the bridge this evening and watched the stream that ran below. Day is done and sun is setting. I forgot something I used to know. And who is born to drop a bomb down beneath the yellow sun? When I laugh alone. When I cry for everyone. Down the green hill to the cold stream, many men still tumble yet, falling from the yellow sunbeam, all too eager to forget. Got the bridge in there too.
What record is that one? Is there a new bridge in that one too?
No, that's
Oh no, there's a bridge in there. Oh, I definitely caught
the
the
image.
bridge.
Yeah. I wrote that when I was 17, summer after I got out of high school.
That's in Staring at the Sun. Is that
Yeah.
record then?
Yeah, I think it's on there.
Great.
I think so.
I can't.
I don't know. I was on an LP called Walk Me to the War in '87 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that one. And I have the other, and I'm familiar with it. So I'm guessing it's also on the Staring at the
It's
Sun.
probably on Staring at the Sun. Yeah, that's right. I did a lot of old stuff in an afternoon.
Is that record recorded in an afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, I'm just going to hopefully not embarrass Andrew too much, but if you're enjoying the show, do yourself a favor and listen to his record called Shadow of a Wing. It's one of my all-time favorite records. But I have to, so once you get immersed in that, you're going to want to go to Staring at the Sun. It's a good second stop. And now I'm done embarrassing Andrew Calhoun, but those are just a couple high water marks in my opinion. And it's not time for my opinion, it's time for Stump the Band. So
Stump
my
the
friend
band.
Mary is going to come in. Mary, are you on the line?
Hi, Robert.
Mary, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are
Good,
you?
Good. We threw you a curveball. We told you you were going to be stumping Cedric, and now all of a sudden it's Andrew Calhoun.
I know. I'm not as prepared.
Nor am I. Not prepared at all.
Mary lived in Bellingham a long time. I think, Mary, you missed Andrew at the Jamboree, but you might have caught him when he played at Bison Bookbinding or some other gig in Bellingham. Is that possible?
I surely hope so.
Okay. Well, tell us what's going on in the
I'm
Great
not hard
American
to stump.
Southwest before we go any further.
Oh, in the Southwest, I'm sure it's just about like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping for moisture, praying for peace.
Nice. Nice. Hoping for moisture, praying for peace. Boy, you can't get any better than that. Do you have things prepared, or should we ad-lib for a little while? Any questions you have for Andrew after his presentation?
Oh, geez.
You don't
I
have to. It's
I
not
think
necessary. It's just for fun.
Stump the
okay.
questioner.
Yeah.
I can. Oh, geez. I'm losing this game, but I'm just I've just been impressed. I'm loving the guitar playing. And somehow after all of this watching of this kitchen table, I wasn't quite sure that I was supposed to have questions to stump. I just kind of, from watching him, I'd like to hear him play Edelweiss.
Okay. Okay. So that's your request. That's one. You get 3 requests. That's one of them. Edelweiss is your first
Okay.
request, and now you have 2 more requests, and I'm really excited.
Okay. And are all the requests for him, or can a request be for you?
The requests are for us. They can be songs we know. They can be songs we
Okay.
don't know. Or, in the
Okay.
words of he who should have been brought to justice before he left the planet Earth, you can ask us songs that you don't know that we don't know. Are you with me? Did it add up?
Can I ask you to write a song right now on a subject?
Sure, yeah. We can do that together.
Can you eat 50 hot dogs, babe? Remember that bit? It was SCTV, and Babe Ruth is visiting a sick kid in the hospital, and he says, you know, gonna hit a home run for you today, kid. He says, can you hit 2 home runs, babe? Yeah, I could do that. Can you hit 3 home runs, babe? And he says, could you eat 50 hot dogs, babe?
Mm.
Sorry.
All of those things are possible, right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time frame, I think.
Yuck. I don't know Edelweiss. I used to sing, you know, a parody in my head. Bad advice, every morning you give me. But I don't know the chords. I don't know. Anything else you want to?
You're supposed to, yeah, so go ahead, you ask us all the requests, then we take a minute and we
Okay.
put them together. Just let it all hang out, Mary.
I'm going to let it all hang out. Okay, so while preparing for Cedric, I was remembering that, Robert, when we first met, like back in the day when we became friends, you gave me his album.
Wow.
Yes.
I want it
Going
back.
to go down to Louisiana? Oh, I have no idea where that is. Yeah. So that was fun. And I was trying to remember if maybe you also, because he's not here, you also gave me a Conway Twitty album, or maybe I just had that album.
Conway Twitty.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility, a Conway Twitty song.
Okay.
If that's not, I also was thinking it would be lovely to hear A Shot of Love, kind of on brand right now.
Yeah.
And if Conway Twitty, I know this is 4, but if Conway Twitty isn't possible, there's more options. Either an Irish shanty or Will the Circle Be Unbroken?
Okay. These are great requests. You gave us a lot of off-ramps from a situation that was looking like a dead end. So that's what I really appreciate about this situation we're in here. I wish I could play A Shot of Love. You know, and for a moment I had a shot of fantasy that if I looked up the lyrics I could perform it. But no, that would be a shot of disaster. But sometimes when a good request like that comes in, it shows up in future kitchen tables. That does happen. And
Dylan loves that record. He says that's his most overlooked record. Shot of Love.
Yeah, I think it's Mary and I worked in an office together, and we listened to that record a lot.
I have never heard it. And I'm a huge Dylan fan, but I should put that in the pipeline.
Yeah, you will only feel good things listening to A Shot of Love.
Okay.
It's true. It's a happy one.
Well, I can do another song off of the album Shot of Love, even though I can't do Shot of Love. And Mary, we're going to say goodbye to you. Angel and I are going to scratch our heads right in front of God and everyone here, and we're going to say, hoping for moisture, praying for peace. Thank you so much for joining us at the kitchen table, and come visit us soon.
I will. Great to see you. And hey, anyone can get ashed. Just FYI.
Okay.
So go get
Great.
Ash
Great.
if you
Go
want to
with
get
Ash.
Ash.
Go with Ash. Thanks for the tip.
Bye.
Ciao.
Hi, Mary.
Andrew, what's coming to you?
Well, I don't know if this is exactly a shanty, but it's close.
Yeah.
I got this. Oh, Evans. Actually, I got it from Tommy Makem sang it. It was probably English, but whatever. Close as I can get to an Irish shanty. Oh, Evans, I rove and I will go. I'll stay no more round England's shore, so let the music play. I'll be off on the morning train to cross the stormy main. I'll be on the move to my own true love, 3,000 miles away. Dark and stormy was the night when first I met my peg. She'd a government band around each hand and another one round her leg. She'd another one around her leg, me boys, and as I sing I pray, for she's doing it grand on a distant land, 3,000 miles away. Though even say, oh, roving I will go, I'll stay no more round England's shore, so let the music play. I'll be off on the morning train to cross the stormy main. I'll be on the move to my own true love, 3,000 miles away. My love, she is beautiful, my love, she is young. My love, she is beautiful, and silver sounds her tongue. Silver sounds her tongue, me boys, and as I sing I pray, for she's doing it grand on a distant land, 3,000 miles away. Blow and say, oh, rove and I will go. I'll stay no more round England's shore, so let the music play. I'll be off on the morning train to cross the stormy main. I'll be on the move to my own true love, 3,000 miles away. I'll be on the move to my own true love, 3,000 miles away.
Yeah, cool tune.
Shanty-ish.
Yeah. I was going to do something off a Shot of Love, but I'm thinking I'm going to just stay in this zone for a minute here, stay in the Irish zone. Less of a shanty, more of a dirge is where I'm going. I got this from Bellingham. Have you been turned on to Bellingham?
No.
Oh man, Bellingham is the trad band that's come out of Ireland that is worth spending some time with. They have 3 records out, and all I'll say is I really love Bellingham. But I got this off a bootleg that, so I don't know if this is on a record of theirs or not. And nobody I've sung this for knows the song, so that's kind of fun to play for Andrew, because Andrew knows a lot of songs. So I'd be curious if you recognize it, you can tell me something about it, like, hey Blake, you're playing the wrong melody, just like all those Burn songs, you know. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Riley. Rosie, Rosie Riley, oh, I met Rosie Riley at the fair in Ballinasloe. Ballinasloe was green and lovely. In the morning coming down, Rosie sitting telling fortunes across the pond with half a crown. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Riley. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Riley, oh, I fell in love with Rosie Riley at the fair in the Ballinasloe. I didn't know she had a husband, a much bigger man than me. I didn't know he had 2 brothers, both as big and bad as he. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Rosie Riley. Rosie, Rosie Riley, oh, I met Rosie Riley at the fair in Ballinasloe. I saw me brother throwing bottles. I saw me dad down on the ground. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Riley. Rosie, Rosie, where are you now? Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Riley. Rosie, Rosie Riley, oh, I met Rosie Riley at the fair in Ballinasloe. I felt me head split wide open. I felt me head hit the ground. Oh, Rosie Riley. Oh, Rosie, where are you now?
Well, I was going to do I have to do this one after that. We're stuck in Ireland, we are.
Well, it's coming into St. Patrick's Day and it's pouring down rain over here, so we're in a zone.
Winston tune. There's a book called Songs of the People. Between the wars, First and Second World War, an Ulster newspaperman named Sam Henry published a folk song every week in the newspaper. That was a lot of years. So there are 690 songs in this book. And on a couple of pages are like half of Nick Jones' Penguin Eggs album.
Oh, cool.
And then on another couple of pages are, 3 songs from Paul Brady's, Welcome Here, Kind Stranger. Those records, man. Anyway, this song, I read all the songs, I made a big list. There were like 125 songs I wanted to learn. There were so many good songs in there. But this was number 1.
Oh, cool.
It had one of those killer lines in it. Those lines.
Like silver sounds her tongue?
Yeah. Towns has some of those lines. I'll kindle my fires with the words I can't send you, the roads I can't follow, and the songs I can't sing. I'll wander alone on the sleigh bells of winter, with the stars for the diamond and the world for a ring. Or Dave Carter, when the Judas moon breaks o'er the virgin forest, I'll be down the road and gone. So this line in here. You'll hear it. It's called The Hills of Tandragee. There's a patriotic song called Hills of Tandragee, and this is not that Hills of Tandragee. This was collected from a fellow named James Carmichael, who probably wrote it. When my love wakes in the morning, she oils and combs her hair, and dresses in her superfine, all for to meet her dear. Her name I will not mention, lest she should offended be, for she is the fairest creature that dwells in Tandragee. The time is drawing nigh, brave lads, and I must leave you here and part with all my comrades, likewise my sweetheart dear. For her beauty I admire above all that I can see, and her killing glances bring the blush on the hills of Tandragee. Farewell unto my native rocks, likewise you grand old shore, where with my daily comrades I've trod the sands all o'er. And when I'm on the ocean wide, no house nor home can see, I'll be thinking of you, Rosie dear, that dwells in Tandragee. When my love wakes in the morning, she walks down to the sea to watch for the ship returning that bore her love away. She'll watch the foaming billows as they roll in from the sea, saying, "Oh, poor Johnny Harton, you're far from Tandragee."
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah, that's just sitting in an old book. I mean, nobody does it, you know.
Wow, wow. No
Yeah.
recording of that you're aware of.
No, I mean, I'm planning to make an Irish record, but God knows when.
Yeah.
God knows when.
Yeah.
There's so many great 20th century Irish poets. They're all in the shadow of Yeats, who
Yeah.
I've never particularly liked. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, yeah. The words. I mean, we don't have that many viewers. It should be all right.
Rhoda Coghill. Look her up.
Okay.
She's a beautiful poet, you know, and these people are just, there's a number of them, just, and they go well with the songs. I planned an album of poems and songs, you know.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah.
It's time to wrap it up. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here with us at the kitchen table. Thank you to Andrew Calhoun for answering my call, my last-minute call. And there he was. He said, sure. And he's looking great, and he's sounding great all the way there from Illinois to all the way here, the most northwest corner, the most northwest city, the most northwest state.
It's great to see you, Robert.
Man, it's great to see you. Got to get you back out here when traveling begins again.
Well, yeah, that was the last tour I canceled. I was going to come out there and play.
Ah.
Yeah.
Stay on the line here. We're going to wrap up the show, but stay on the line. You and I can have a couple things that came to me that I think would bore anybody else. I mean, not that we haven't done a bunch of stuff that would bore other people already, but I mean, this is really deeper in the weeds. Thank you, everybody. Please find your way to the digital tip jar. We're going to send a digital bag of digital money all the way over to Andrew Calhoun so we can go spend it at the digital casino of his choice. Now, I wonder if that turns people off from giving if I tell them that Andrew's going to spend it on cards and cheap drinks. No, I don't think so. I don't know what he's going to do, but it doesn't matter what he does with it. That's his business. If you enjoy the show, please put a few bucks in the old digital tip jar. And we're going to digress slightly from our usual program. Let's see, first I want to tell you that next week, Matt Faulkner, wow, the mystic of the Kerrville Happy Valley Ranch is going. I mean, mystic is close. It's not quite right. There's probably another term better for him, but he's a bit of a recluse. I mean, I'm so lucky that he's going to make his digital debut here at the kitchen table. And so I love the songs of Matt Faulkner, and actually everyone who's ever heard him loves them. It's just that not that many people have heard him, so it's pretty cool that we're going to have Andrew here with us. We'll have Matt with us next week. And then we have Mara Kay. Oh my God, I love Mara Kay. Great Brooklyn blues singer, but she moved to L.A. Mara Kay moved to L.A. We'll have her for that. That'll be the last show of the season. That's in 2 weeks. Then we're going to take a break. We'll be back May 1st, so mark your calendars, everybody. Where are we? We're wrapping this thing up. And we're not going to wrap it up like we usually do. We usually do all our usual thing. But we're just going to leave you tonight with the sounds of a trumpet. Maybe you've heard it already, but you're going to hear it again. The sounds of a trumpet being playing the Ukrainian national anthem in the capital of the Ukraine. And our hearts go out. I'm so humbled to think there are people who are suffering the way the Ukrainians are suffering, with fear, death, and violence. And my heart goes straight out to them. And so we're going to leave you with this clip that was floating around the world, straight from the Ukraine a few nights ago.
Слава Україні! Слава Україні!